Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahushua HaMashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo, and I'm going to do a trade recap today on my trade on MES, Micro ES Futures. And today is the 14th of April 2023. The time is 10 a.m. Alright, so let's jump into this here. Let me go over to trade and view so I could break down the Camarilla levels. All right, so today we have a, let's see here. All right, so yesterday's Camarilla R3 was right here at this level, right? And today it moved up, right? So we have a higher value relationship where Camarilla S3 has also moved up to this level, which is above yesterday's Camarilla R3, right? So this is Camarilla S3 today at 41.54.50, and let me just bring Camarilla R3 into view. Right, so this is Camarilla R3 today at 41.91. All right, so we have a higher value relationship where Camarilla S3 is above yesterday's Camarilla R3. So basically we're looking, okay, all right, let's fix that. All right, we good? All right, we good. All right, so today we're basically looking for buys, right? It's a long setup today with the higher value relationship on the Camarillas. So I'm looking for buys at certain levels, right? So you see I have this here. This is the blue, this blue line is the pivot level, central floor pivot, and it's in the same vicinity as the Camarilla S3. So I label that like a golden pivot zone where they're in the same vicinity, so it creates good support in this setup right here. So it could also be resistance depending on where it is. Like if this pivot was up here with Camarilla R3, it would be a golden pivot zone but a resistance zone, right? So looking for buys in this situation here, we have the top central pivot, right, which is this red line right here. It's at 41.63, right? So with this with the context of the trade here, right, yesterday we had strong buying into the close. The ETH overnight had sideways movement, right, and then we dipped down to the pivot level. So the bullish thesis is well in play because we opened above the central floor pivots, the top central pivot right here. We stayed above it for up until around, let's see, until 6:15 this morning, right? And then we tested it this morning at 6:15, and then we got the push up off of it and came back and retested it here at 8:45, right? So we have this double bottom structure right here at this pivot zone, top central pivot, and we have a Camarilla setup where it's looking for higher value, right? So with that being said, let's see here. I'm going for certain like levels, right? So you see I have overnight high marks right here, and this is also the mid level, right? The overnight mid. No, I think it was different at that time. Let me see. The overnight mid was around 41.70, right? So I took the break of the overnight mid at 41.72, and I was targeting overnight high, right? So got the target here on overnight high, and then I was looking at this structure right here, this 50% monthly fib line resistance. That's like on my monthly chart I actually pull like a fib line. I think it was from the top. So this is a resistance level, right? So I think it's in like a retracement, and this is a resistance level on the monthly chart. So I was looking around this level for some resistance. We actually pushed through that, and let me go over to Ninja Trader so you can see some of these trades. Right, so you can see here the first entry was 41.72, right? And then I entered here again, added to the position at 41.74, right? So took a first partial here at 41.77. So let me just go over to bookmap for a second. So let's see here, 41.77, right? So you can see 41.77 is lining up with the overnight high right here. So took a partial right here at 41.77, and then I took off all of the position at 41.76.25. So when we started getting this pullback right here, I decided to exit the position because we lost the overnight high, right? So let me just make this bigger. Right, so took the partial here at, what was the partial? 41.77, right? So 41.77, took the partial here, right, around this area. Let's open this up a little bit, right? So when we hit this area right here, I took a partial, and then we went above the overnight high, right? We created this kind of like a, if you could really check it out, it looked kind of like a head and shoulders kind of pattern, where you get this push up right here. We have a top, we have another kind of top right here. This could be a shoulder right here, and then we're pulling down, and we lost overnight high. So I decided to take off. Let's see, I took all off at 41.76.25. So let's see where that is. Right, so at this level here, when we lost overnight high, I decided to take off the rest of the position, right? So we did the pullback thing, came here, got some support at around, let's say 41.74.75, and we started to push up again. So I actually jumped back in with like a little smaller size at 41.77.25. So let's see, 41.77.25. Right, so around here you could see, okay, so we found support, broke above, and then if you open this a little bit here, 41.77.25, we're actually regaining the overnight high. So I decided to jump back in. You can see it's a sideways structure, and the break above at 41.77.25, so jump back in there. It pulled back a little bit to 47.76.75, like a retest, and then we took off again, right? So came back up here, checking this 50% fib level, and we didn't have any let's see, did I take a partial? I took a partial here at 41.80. So took a partial here at 41.80 when we ran into this pullback right here. So I decided to take a partial right here. So we pushed up to around 41.81, came back and retest that. So in case we were gonna lose it, I took a partial here at 41.80. We got support, ran up to the weekly Camarilla R4 level. So I was also looking at that level for some resistance, right? So it pulled back a little bit. I didn't really stop out. I didn't take off any of the position. I was just looking at it because we were staying above this level here at the 50% level. So didn't take off anything. We came back, we regained this weekly Camarilla R4 here at 41.8225. Retested it, and then we started to move up again. Let's see, let me go back over here to Ninja Trader. Right, so this is where I added here again at 41.7725. Took a partial here at 41.80, right? That was at the 50% level, I believe. Right, let's go back here. Let me just check that. 41.80, yep. So that was the 50%, the monthly fib level at 41.80. Let's see. Right, and then I took off the rest of the position here at 41.84. So let me just switch over to Bookmap and see. And I don't think this was a great exit of the position. So what was it again? 41.8425, right? At around 950. So pushing up here off of the weekly Camarilla level, 41.8450. Let's see. Right, so around this level here, when we started to have this kind of these pullbacks, I moved my stop up to around 41.8350, right? So kind of like just below this level right here, 41.8350, and we started to have these pullbacks. So when it started to look like this, I kind of chickened out of the trade, so I stopped out at 41.8450. When I could have just held because it didn't really come back to my stop, so I kind of prematurely stopped out of this position, and my target was actually going to be Camarilla R3. But did we get up there? I don't think we did. Yeah, we might have. So we came back here. If I kept my stop in the same place at around 41.8350, right, you can see we came back to 41.84, tested that, right? And then we pushed up again to around 41.8990. So it would have stopped me out basically, because you see we came back and we tested VWAP, we came back and we tested this weekly Camarilla R4 level and this 50% fib level that I have here, right? So I guess it worked out, you know. We didn't really get up to Camarilla R3. You see we started to have this failure here at around 41.89, right? So it was a decent trade. Good risk management. I thought this was kind of like a premature exit, but I guess it was looking at the structure and too much selling coming up to this Camarilla resistance level here, so I thought might as well just keep the profit and exit the trade, you know. So let's see here. And you know, not really taking too much of a big size. This was the profit for today. It was 177.50. So yeah, it was a nice clean trade, man. Nice exits and entries and stuff like that. Good risk management. Almost got to the top of the trade, so hit some nice targets. Had the overnight high, had the 50% fib level, and all of these things kind of helping to manage the trade. So all in all, it was a good trade. And also looking at this level right here, this is the volume point of control on Bookmap. So you can see at the open here, the volume point of control pushed down, and then it pushed up, and then we started to push off of that. So you can see, let me open this up here a little bit. On my notes, I actually have, and we actually came back to this level of the volume points of control, right? So I actually start marking these as whatever it does, what price does at this volume point of control. I mark it as either a POC push or a POC fail, right? So let's see here, and this POC never moved up, right? So price moved up, but it never came up to this level as to say, well, there's a lot of transactions up at this level more than at the start of the trade, right? So we actually came back to that level to check price to see, I guess, if there's any more buyers down here, you know what I'm saying? So these guys who went long at the open here, they started taking profit up here, and they just took profit all the way back to their entry, right? So they could actually start this whole trade over again. You could just go from here, you know what I'm saying? And this is the overnight mid as well. So, and it was actually around the ETH open as well. So it's a nice place to start over. Will they do it? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm actually marking these as a POC push. So this is another kind of qualifier here to see what price does at this level. Now if price breaks down from this, I'll probably, like this here, if it continued from this level, I'll just label it like a POC fail. Let me just do that real quick. Right, so it's like a reminder to see what price does at these levels, at these significant volume levels, you know what I'm saying? And this one here is MPOC, where the POC migrates. So it's a migrating POC, right? So it moves just like, all right, let's see, let me just open this here, right? So this here could be a migrating POC, or it moving back up, but it hasn't done anything yet, right? So even though this pushed up from here, it didn't really push and go anywhere, right? It just kind of hanged around here. So this could be, although it's already a POC fail and a POC push, right? This one here could be just a migrating POC, right? So at the open here, let's see here. At the open here, when it moved down to this level, this was also a migrating POC, but I labeled it RTH open POC, right? So even though it migrated from down to this level, it's just the RTH POC, that's the open POC, right? And when it migrates, I labeled it a migrating POC. And then when it moved away from that, that's when I called it a POC push. So now it's like movement around a certain area, you know. It just gives you like a added, I guess, indicator or like significance level, you know what I'm saying? So now we're getting the POC fail from this area again, which is something I already labeled, and you can see that, okay, now it's gonna test this breakdown level here, and it's also the RTH open POC, you know. So it's just another little criteria you could have to like build a playbook off of, you know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. It's Malak Shalomo, and y'all trade safe and stay blessed.